So the president is connecting. I just got word from the Secret Service. He is on the phone.
Hello?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness. What an honor to be
I thought you guys were joking.
Can we get some president music, please? Thank you. Turn the music down. The president is too quiet. The music is too loud. Well, the music is
Mr.
too
President,
loud.
It's an honor to have you here. I had a few questions that I think, the larger populace would really like you to answer and answer them honestly. The first question I have is, what do you think of Slender Man? that crazy, kooky...
Well, there's so many complicated things to do with Slender and the others, but they're saying that it's true that this person got through. We don't know how he got through. We don't know which way he came. Okay? We tried to throw him out of this place, but he kept coming back. But first thing I want to say,
what?
If he catches, we will see static, and that's not good. So we're looking at that level. I've got my top people on this, okay? And then at the top, I have them looking at it.
Mr. President, it's clear you have a strong opinion and a lot to say about Slenderman. we didn't quite hear most of it, but I hope the audience out there watching the stream did.
Is he on Air Force One right now or something?
Yeah, President, Are you on Air Force One or what's going on here?
We are totally bombing all of the countries. World War III has officially started. It's total chaos.
Well, as interesting as that line of discussion might be, I'm actually more curious to know, what do you think of these weird Nintendo? Nintendo just sent out these little original NES game pads that kind of slide into the side of your Switch system. You know what I'm talking about? They just recently sent those out, and you had to, in order to get them.
Look at what she has done with the company, and boy, she turned that company around. But you look at Mario, and you look at Link and Zelda, and the whole thing, and it doesn't make any sense. Okay, I look at Mario, I say, what is he? It doesn't make sense. Why does he want any of it? Okay, but they're totally failing, from what I understand, just so you get it. They're failing, and they're in the dumpster, okay? What you should really invest in is the new Soldier Boy console. That's what the money's at, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things about the Soldier Boy console, so that's a really good thing. What do you think about the digital streaming channel that lets you watch Nickelodeon?
Well, you look at Digimon, and they evolve differently than Pokemon. Pokemon are 1, 2, done, okay? But Digimon, they sometimes have 3, 4, 5, up to 5. They're saying evolution. So we're looking at Digimon, and it's not something we like, but we have to look into it, okay?
What do you think of Japanese candies? I mean, are you familiar with these little mushrooms?
So you look at Japanese women, and they look a little bit younger than the rest of the world, right? That's okay. But it's legal. The whole thing is legal. And they're saying that people go there to, white people go to Japan because the women there are so young, and they think that they're going to like white guys. But that's not the case. So a lot of these men are disappointed, okay?
But, Mr. President, what do you think about the treats, the Japanese treats like the Pocky or Pocky?
Hello Panda.
Some of these mushroom-shaped little
Please
chocolate
stop
treats.
avoiding the question.
Ramen soda. How do you feel about these cute, delightful
You're really
candies?
avoiding
I am totally, but just so you understand, okay? You people print this fake stuff, okay? But this is what the truth is, okay? I'm telling you. Here it is, okay? I am totally kawaii. I love anime. It's epic, okay? That's what I love, okay? I keep telling you people, but they won't print it. I keep saying it, but they won't print it. So I'm saying it now. I love the Japanese culture. I love the pictures, right? The cartoons. Okay?
Now, Mr. President, do you?
And they have superpowers, and I think it's great. Okay.
Now, Mr. President, do you consume hentai? Or do you think that hentai should be legal? I know a lot of hentai depicts very young girls in it, and a lot of people find that questionable. What do you think about this type of hentai that depicts very young girls, Mr. President?
Well, I was sitting there, and I never heard of this. I said, hentai, I didn't know about this. I tell one of my top people came up to me. And they said, Mr. President, what did you think of hentai? I said, I've never heard of it. So they gave me a laptop with this hentai on it, and they left me alone for about 1 hour. But you look at these pictures, and they're horrible. And there's these things And the girls look so young, but they like it, and so do I. But that's okay. We can't talk about that because they don't like it. But you look at these tentacles fucking women, it's so nice, right? But we don't say that. That's okay.
Do you?
That's a really thought-provoking answer.
Yeah, that was a good answer. Like, what do you think? What do you think of these? What do you think of these like these scooters, Lime or Bird, all these companies, these scooters, and what do you think about Segway, the Segway Pro?
No, wait, hold on. Okay, I get it. Okay, let me finish. Okay. I saw a YouTube video with 2 million views. Think of it, 2 million people. That's a lot of people. 2 million. But it had 2 million views, and I saw it, and it was a little boy, a little Mexican boy, right? And he was on one of these scooters. I said, what is that? But the little boy, he falls off the scooter in the video, okay? The little boy fell off the scooter, that's it.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
So,
I mean,
That's all of it.
So okay, got it. You're against them.
I'm kind of curious, Mr. President. Who do you
Or
main?
maybe he's for them.
Yeah.
Not quite.
I mean, the important thing is the little
He's clearly dodging the.
Well, I think the president wants to move on.
Well, anyway, when you look at the little boy on the scooter and he falls over, I don't know what's so hard to get, but that's okay. Maybe you're more simple than I am. Maybe it takes things differently. I just pick up things differently.
Mr.
But
President,
you look at the little boy, and when you see that video, you'll understand, okay?
Mr. President, what's your take on Mario Paint, the classic Mario Paint for Nintendo, Super Nintendo? Do you think it should be remade? Do you think there should be a modern, more featured, more features, more fleshed out version of Mario Paint?
Mario Paint be released for the Switch in 2019 and announced at E3 2019 also. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can I ask, who do you main in Smash, Mr. President? Who do you main when you play Smash Brothers against other world leaders?
Well, you look at what the game is, right? And there's all these characters, and some are not so good, okay? But I saw somebody playing this game. I saw Baron playing the game. I said, Baron, what is that? He said, Dad, don't look. I said, what is that? And I realized that Super Smash Brothers was epic. I love that word, right? Have you heard of this? It's so cool.
We have heard of the word epic,
you ever
Mr.
heard
President.
Of epic? It's fucking sweet, Lois. I mean, this is great, right? This is what we like to talk about. But so I saw Smash Brothers, and my thoughts were this. I don't get it. There's all these kids, they're fighting. What's with the fighting?
You're saying you'd like to see a more peaceful version of Smash Brothers?
I would love to see a situation where the laws are changed so that we won't get into that. But you look at Mario versus Link versus Zelda, okay? And it's so great. It's so cool.
So what do you think of Bitcoins, Mr. President? Are you a big Bitcoin guy? You buy a couple of Bitcoins or what? What do you think?
No, they were saying do the Bitcoin. They were saying invest. And I looked into it, and it looks like a total fraud, just so you understand. I think anybody who bought Bitcoin before the crash is stupid. That's okay. We won't get into that. But what I did was I invested heavily in Dogecoin, right? The great meme.
Of course.
Dogecoin is valuable, okay?
Now, Mr. President, if I can ask you something a little more personal, how do you wipe when you defecate in the bathroom? Do you end with a wet one? Do you use baby wipes? Do you have a duvet? How do you clean up the feces around your asshole, Mr. President, after taking a shit?
Usually I'll have a little person come in and lick it off me if I'm feeling a certain way, right? If it's a good day, I do that. But if it's a bad day, I do it the old-fashioned way where you have two people come in and do it themselves. But there's a lot of ways to do it, right? It's not pretty, but there's a lot of ways.
That's right. Well, Mr. President, I have to say it's been very eye-opening. You've dodged some questions, but for the most part, you've been very forthcoming.
Thank you for taking the red pill.
Yes.
I love all of you people. I think you're all great incels. I love the incel community. Okay, the incel community is my favorite one of all of them. I love this. It's great.
Okay, Mr. President. Well, please, thank you for all of your hard work. I know that being
President.
being
it's hard work.
You know,
it's hard.
Well, these are hard questions.
It's a hard job.
We held your feet to the fire today.
We really appreciate you.
We really held your feet to the fire.
Telling us the truthful answers to some of these hard questions that we lobbed at you, and I hope you appreciate.
He's easy time. It's not an easy time. But I have to tell you, before I leave, look up on YouTube. It's a funny new video. They're calling it viral, okay? They're calling it viral. But what they say is if you look on YouTube and you type in Wazza, it's a very funny night. It's too funny. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen before, okay? Just so you understand. That's all I wanted to tell you.
Well,
Okay,
thank
well,
you.
thank
All
you
right.
for that.
Great
Yeah, I
tip from
appreciate
the President
that.
of the United
Well,
States.
Mr. President, I'm sure you have a lot to get to. You must be very busy, man. So we wish you all the best and a good luck running the country. And thank you so much for calling.
Stay out
in.
of trouble, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, thank you very much. You're wonderful. Peace out. Wazza. Push to 9/11. I don't know. Push to 9/11. I don't know.
Yes, of course. Well,
Did he say something about
he said
9/11
something. He did say yes, he did.
Could have
and-
asked him about all the aliens, but I guess we missed our chance. But we know
Oh,
about
God,
Slender
yeah,
Man
we
now.
could have really got into some like,
CIA.
actual helpful things.
Well, maybe next
I
time.
had, there was a lot of questions about policy and stuff that
yeah,
I had written down, but we never got to.
There's a lot of stuff, but
Really want to know it was in Area 51.